Hello folks, my name is Mark and this is UCD Toy Reviews. How you guys doing? And today we are taking a look at Ninjor from Masters of the Universe Origins. I am extra super happy to get a Ninjor because not only is this really hard to find in the wild, which luckily I found one. Did not have to pay aftermarket prices for this one, so that's cool. But not only is this one really hard to find in the wild, this is actually one of those figures that I did not own as a child. So when I was a kid back in the 80s, I had a very, very extensive He-Man collection. And I had almost all of them. I had a lot of the rare ones too. I had things like King Randor and like Scareglow, and I had the Eternia Towers and all that stuff when I was a small child. But Ninjor I never had. This one just never showed up. So this is kind of the first Ninjor toy that I've ever owned, and it's really kind of cool. He's almost like a holy grail for me, you know. And the thing about it is that the classic one, you know, the vintage one is like super expensive. If you want to get them, you know, complete, you're looking at spending $150, $200, you know, if you're trying to buy them piecemeal or whatever. And so it's kind of cool. At least I can get this version of them, yeah, for a decent price and actually have one in my collection. So let's take a look at that figure. Basically, he's just a ninja. He's got that sort of dragon thing with a sword going on his tabard there. That's what that's called, a tabard. And one thing about Ninjor is that he had the same feet as Skeletor for some reason. Not really sure why. You know, I always thought ninjas should have boots or whatever, but I guess on Eternia they have like monster feet. So, but that's cool that they kept that detail there. So it is pretty faithful to the figure. And then on the back here we've got some, you know, text of him doing a karate kick, and he looks like he's fighting Clamp Champ and King Randor here. Ninjor uses his uncanny stealth abilities to spy on and surprise attack the heroes of Eternia. Comes with a bunch of weapons, that kind of thing, and of course you can twist them around and all that. And then here's some other figures, you know, He-Man, Stratos, that's cool, Hordak. Triclops, don't have that one. Skeletor, and then of course Ninjor. Haven't seen a Triclops at the store either. I'll have to look online for that. But anyway, let's go ahead and open them up. Alright, first off, pull that out, and let's see, he comes with, well first let's pull him out of the package here, take a look at him. Okay, he's got the usual rubber bands all over him. That's kind of a normal given thing from Mattel here. Gotta make sure your toys are, you know, secure in the package and whatnot. Alright, let's pull him out. Pretty cool, looking pretty good, you know. Oh, notice all of this stuff is rubber. Oh, he's got a little holster for a sword. That's cool. Oh, there's two places. Okay, so you can hang his weapons on his back. On the original figure, this is all cloth. So you can take off, like, his mask. You can take off the tabard, you know, and all that. And oftentimes when you find them online, you'll find a loose figure without any of that stuff. And that's part of the reason why getting a vintage one is like, you know, so expensive, because if you want them complete, you know, if you want to get the uniform and all the weapons and everything, then yeah, you end up buying all that stuff separately. But yeah, you know, like if you want to get the weapons or whatever, then like, you know, getting the bow and arrow will be like an extra $25 or something like that. And then if you want to find the nunchucks, those are like super expensive because they were really fragile and they tended to break. So finding a pair of the nunchucks intact is like, you know, that alone is going to cost you $50. So putting one of these together complete is like super expensive. But let's take a look at his weapon. So we have these nunchucks here, and there's an actual chain on them. That's really cool. From what I know, I think the original one just has string. So that's actually kind of awesome. Like, you see that? They're like little plastic chain, like a chain link kind of thing with plastic. That's like really cool. They can kind of be positioned a little bit. You know, they sort of flop around. So that's actually really cool. I'm like, wow, shit. That's really awesome. Let's put that in one hand. Then you have this sort of elaborate bow and arrow thing. I have seen this before, the vintage one. So it's sort of like a bow, but with an arrow like in it already, and then there's like a little scope and all that. So I guess it's sort of like a high-tech bow or something. Anyway, that's kind of weird. Then, of course, the same ninja sword. Aww. And this is the same sword that came with Jitsu back in the day too. In fact, I think he shared the same head as Jitsu also, just with a mask on. So that's kind of cool. And let's see, so these go in his back here, huh? Is there a place for him to hold his... Yeah, looks like this slot right here. You can just sort of put his bow and arrow in his back like that. And then he can just like have his weapons. Let's kind of pan down a little bit. Pretty cool. And then I guess you can take the sword when you're done chopping people's heads off. Whoa. As I was saying, you can take the sword when you're done chopping people's heads off. And let's see, does the sword go back here too? Yeah, okay, so the sword fits there. So that way, like, if you want him to hold the bow, right, then you can put the sword away, and then he can hold the bow. Okay, kind of doesn't really work that well, but, you know, that is what the vintage figure looked like, from what I understand. And then, let's see, then you can put the nunchucks back here also, so they just sort of dangle back. So that's cool. So you sort of got like all the ninja weapons and stuff. And I don't think the original figure had that capability. I don't think there was like a little weapons belt for him to hang on to his stuff. Of course, I never had one, so I wouldn't know. And then what's this? Oh, these are directions. Okay. These are instructions that are swapping. It says swap in, remove and swap parts. Okay, so that you can take these apart. And I guess they encourage you to do that. I guess the part of the fun is that, you know, you can take your other figures and swap parts together and make your own dudes. And then, of course, he comes with a comic book, Sneak Attack. And let's see, we got Stratos hanging out over there. And I'm guessing he's stealing the Staff of Avalon from Stratos. Pretty cool, you know. Got some good artwork going here. There goes Triclops also and Hordak. And then there's a Horde Trooper down there. I know that we're getting some Horde Troopers with the 2021, you know, PowerCon exclusives. So that's kind of cool. And Ninjor, stuff like that by the power of Grayskull, blah, blah, blah. And then there's some fighting. You're a traitor. Okay, well, we'll have to read through this whole thing later. Still pretty cool, you know, very happy to get this. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of stoked to get this guy, because this is actually some cool stuff right here, man. And, you know, like I said, I never owned one of these as a kid, so this is like new territory for me. And, I don't know, these Origins figures, man, these things are sort of the best things ever. You know what I mean? And I'm very happy that they're making, you know, because Ninjor was kind of an obscure character. Even though he's a fan favorite, he wasn't on the show at all. He wasn't like, you know, he came out towards the end of the line. You know, you didn't see him on TV. You know, he was only around for maybe 6 months or something like that before they canceled the whole toy line. So the fact that they're making these more obscure characters makes me very, very happy. So anyway, thanks a lot, folks. That's all I got. Adios.